Hello, little man. Boy, I've heard a lot about you. You see, I was a good friend of your dad's. We were in that Hanoi pit of hell for 5 years. Hopefully, you never have to experience this yourself, but when two men are in a situation like me and your dad were, for as long as we were, you take on certain responsibilities of the other. Now, if it'd been me who hadn't made it, Major Coolidge would be sitting right now talking to my son, Jim. As it turns out, I'm sitting here talking to you, Butch. I got something for you. This watch I got here was first bought by your great-grandfather during World War I. It was purchased in a little general store in Knoxville, Tennessee. It's made by the first company to ever make wristwatches. Up until that time, everyone just carried pocket watches. It was bought by Private Doughboy Ryan Coolidge on the day he set sail for Paris. This was your great-grandfather's war watch, and he wore it every day he was in that war. And when he'd done his duty, he went home to your grandmother, took off the watch, put it in an old coffee can. And in that can it stayed until your granddad, Dane Coolidge, was called upon his country to go overseas and fight the Germans once again. This time they called it World War II. Your great-grandfather gave the watch to your granddad for good luck. Unfortunately, Dane's luck wasn't as good as his old man's. You see, Dane was a Marine, and he died along with all the other Marines in the Battle of Wake Island. Your granddad was facing death. He knew it. None of those boys had any illusions about ever leaving that island alive. So 3 days before the Japanese took the island, your granddad gave the watch to a gunner on an Air Force transport named Winaki to deliver to his infant son, who he'd never seen in the flesh, the watch. 3 days later, your granddad was dead. But Winaki kept his word. After the war, he paid a visit to your grandmother to deliver to your infant father the watch. This watch. This watch was on your daddy's wrist when he was shot down over that Hanoi. He was captured, put in a Vietnamese prison camp. He knew that if the Gooks ever saw it, it would be confiscated, taken away. The way he saw it was, this watch was your birthright. Be damned if he let any slopes put their greasy yellow hands on his son's birthright, so he hid it. The one place he knew he could hide something, up his ass. 5 long years, he wore this watch up his ass. He died of dysentery and he gave me the watch. For 2 years I wore this uncomfortable hunk of metal up my ass. 7 years later I was returned to my family. And now, little man, I give the watch to you.